everybody. Does this work? Yeah? Really? I don't know. Yes, it is. Hi. Is this coming through here? Okay. Hi. I'm visiting from Los Angeles. I flew here last night, and I'm flying home tonight, and I'd like to stay longer. I did not grow up with a library like this. This is amazing. I would be playing in the trees a lot. You guys are really lucky. You guys, can they scoot up over there? You guys can come closer over here. Yeah. So, I like to draw. This is what I've been doing. Do you recognize that picture? If I got rid of this and this and took that and flipped it that way, does that look familiar? If you look, when you leave that way, there's this, you can climb inside of, not my drawing, but the trees that are over there. I'm going to do a few things with you today. You guys had a copy of Crazy Hair Day, a giant one. At some point we'll do that. I thought maybe we would start with, I brought this piano with me. Is this a piano? Is it a flute? This is actually like a guitar. It's called a ukulele. Some people call them an ukulele. This is what it does. I usually bring a guitar, but I was jumping on an airplane, and I thought I could take something tiny with me. And this is why I brought this. How many of you know the word oomph? Oomph. Can you say that? It's fun to say oomph. You have to be careful you don't spit afterwards. It's oomph. It's a wet word. Oomph is when you try hard. When you try to do something and you give it a lot of effort, you give it some oomph. So if you were walking and I said, can you give your walk some oomph, maybe you would skip. And if I said, could you give your skip some oomph, maybe you would run. And if I said, maybe could you give your run some oomph, maybe you would flap your arms and start to fly. Is that possible? You could pretend, though, right? So I wrote a book called A Little Bit of Umph, which you can't find anymore, but I like the song better. So I'm going to teach it to you, and I want you to try to sing with me. We're going to go a little bit of oomph, and then I want you to sing a little. All right? Let's try this. A little bit of oomph. Oh, my goodness. Usually I have to tell people to open their mouths, but you guys already knew that. Let's try that again. A little bit of oomph. Little bit of oomph. Little bit of oomph. Little bit of. Okay, you got to give your oomph some oomph. Little bit of oomph. All right. Now, this gets really tricky because there's a lot of words, and I want you to sing what I sing after me. So I'm going to say, we can give a little, we can give a little, we can give a lot, we can give a lot. Want to make it special? Give it everything you got. It isn't always easy. Sometimes it's tough. Working like a dog can be a little rough. You can go, can be a little rough. It's a dog joke. Remember the cow jumped over the moon. Took a little bit of oomph to float like a balloon, to float like a balloon. I messed it up. To float like a balloon. Float. A tiny little bird can learn to fly. Lumpy old potato can be a French fry. Little bit of oomph. Little bit of oomph. Little bit of oomph. Little bit of. All right. We know the story. Tortoise and the hare. Tortoise had oomph. Won the race fair and square. Won the race fair and square. Big bad wolf had huff and puff tricks. Huff and puff tricks. A plucky little pig built his house of bricks. We can turn a doodle into a work of art. Nothing's going to happen if you never start. We used to crawl, now we walk. We used to say gaga, now we talk. Little bit of oomph, 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 a little bit of oomph, a little bit of oomph. Give yourselves a hand. Nice job. Wow. So my job is to write stories, to make up songs, and to draw pictures. And I never know where I'm going to get an idea. I like to look around. I see things all the time, which is why I drew alligators when I was looking at your trees, because I see things when I look beyond what's there. And I like to play. So what I wanted to do was show you one of the things I love to do, but I need to get a volunteer, someone who could help me. If someone could help me just for one, right here, come on. I love your shirt. I don't have a star on mine. I'd like one. I have a star, a heart. So take this, and hi. And what I want you to do is just make a little squiggle. Just, yeah, stop. Perfect. Okay, you can have a seat. Would you like to make one also? Okay, hold on. We're going to take that one and say goodbye. Do another one right there. And I'm going to do this. Okay. Hi. We're just, I think after this, that's going to be it. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Last one for right now. That's never happened before. Hi. Just, hi. Sit down, please. Okay. Hi. You can do it. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Thank you. Have a seat. Wow. 3 squiggles. You gave it a lot of oomph. See, I was expecting 1 and I got 3. That's oomph. So here's the deal. You can look at that and go, that is a noodle. It's standing up. It's a noodle. Now it's a sleeping noodle. If you play, it could be anything. Now, if I gave you each a copy of it and said draw pictures, any picture you make would be perfect. You could leave it alone. It's a noodle doing yoga. That would work. So I can do this. I like teeth. Whoa. Now look, I'm almost at, oh, no, he's got room. Look it. I thought I was going to be out of room. We can do this. Yeah. It helps if you make noise. He's a good crocodile dressed up as a dinosaur, dressed up as a dragon. So, does he look happy? Yeah. Okay, so that's one guy. Who else was in here? Oh, look at that. Hey. Thank you. So now, let's take a while. And there was one last one. Ah! What is that? Oh, you had a fatter line than I did. Okay, there. And ah! What's happening to this guy? Ah! Now, he doesn't have a lot of room for feet there. There we go. He's stretching in the morning. Ah! So if I take this guy and shrink him, yeah, that's what he's screaming about. Ah! And then, ah! Wait. Could they be in a story together? Yeah, maybe. Let's take this guy and hello. And he's going, ah! Or, boop. Hello. How are you? Could we do all 3 of them together? Now, you know what happens if I make this guy tiny? Da-da-da. Everything's different, isn't it? If I make these guys tiny, and this guy tiny, and this guy huge, the story changes. So what we're doing is playing. And when you play, things happen that you didn't expect. I like those guys. I'm going to show you a few things here. Loading. So, the pictures I'm going to show you, those are pictures of me growing up in Los Angeles. I never smiled as a child. I've been drawing since I'm little. My mom would never buy me a coloring book. She said, why would you color someone else's art? Make up your own. So she bought me lots of sketchbooks that I drew in. That's a ukulele, but I've been playing guitar since I'm 8. I was in a band. That's me in the T-shirt. We were called the Black Knights, and we were terrible. I love pencils. I like to doodle. When you doodle, you don't know what's going to happen. If you move it around, you'll be surprised by what you might draw. And anything is possible, and all you need is a piece of paper and a pencil. This is a book I loved growing up. It's called Harriet the Spy. And Harriet carried a notebook with her, and she took notes. I became Harry the Spy. And I had notebooks, and my mom bought me these, and I saved all of them. And this is how I drew when I was in elementary school. My favorite one is these two guys on surfboards on the bottom. The surfer on the right is a skeleton. And the surfer on the left said, how long have you been waiting for a good wave? Really long time. This is another book I loved, Are You My Mother? And if you haven't read it, I'm sure you can find it here in the library. But if you look behind them, the page is white. And I think it really changed the way I drew because they're sort of in this magic place. And I do that a lot in my books. Another book that influenced me a lot, The Amazing Bone. And one of the things that's amazing is I never know where I'm going to end up. I was sent to China for 14 days to talk about books, and to India, and to Russia, and to Denver, to Colorado. That's my family. They're always waving goodbye as I go. Pardon me? You live in Colorado? What a coincidence. How many of you have ever been to Colorado? Good. How many of you haven't? Okay. So this is where I live. Can you tell that's not Colorado? And this is how I go to work in the morning. You want to see? Now, I have to tell you before I start, I have 2 dogs, Lucy and Ollie, and they're really calm. They like to sleep a lot. Now, I have an assistant who was filming this, and for some reason, they changed their personality when she walked into my yard. But I walk out this door, past my very calm dogs, to my studio where I work. Not Colorado, is it? So in this room, you're going to see it's weird because I'm sitting in this room when she filmed this, inside this orange door in that room. And I have a computer that I can draw on like I've been drawing on the iPad. And here I am working on a book that I haven't sold called The Plant That Grew Sideways. But I can do watercolor on the screen. Now, I want you to notice something on the wall that my wife says I have too many of. We disagree over this. I tell her she has too many shoes. We don't talk about it after that. So this is where I spend a lot of my day working on stories and songs and artwork. I make models out of my characters. And if you see down here, there's Crazy Hair Day. On the bottom, you can see Stanley, the character from that book. I make them out of clay. It helps me draw them. I was not very good at math. I still am not very good at math. I'm still trying. I know 2 + 2 = 4. But if you look at this, I'll show you what else it equals. Stare at that for a second. Want to see that again? 2 plus 2, a fish, a butterfly, and a guy. They did not have a test for that when I was in school. If they did, I would have known I was smart. What I've learned is there's lots of types of smart, and they're all equally as important, just different. I see faces a lot. Anybody see a face? And once I ate it, you know what I did? I made dinosaurs. So do you have to have fancy art supplies to make art? No. Anything, even glasses will work. An avocado. Eggs. A broom became a three-eyed broom bird. My dog, Shadow. Follow me on Instagram. This is something I see in front of a lot of buildings. I don't know why they have them now. I decided it would look better if I drew on it. Made 2 aliens. This is a door with a shadow. These are animal crackers, which I don't know why they're called animal crackers, because they're cookies. The ones from, do you have Trader Joe's in Colorado? I can never tell what they are. So I started drawing with them. And if you eat too many cookies, blah. Okay, so you want to see how many books I've made? If you can count really fast, there they are. More than 2. This is a dog. His name was Arlo, and he looked like a stuffed animal, and he was as smart as a stuffed animal. I had never met a dog that couldn't catch a ball before. I thought all dogs could catch. To me, it would be like getting a goldfish and saying he can't swim. I didn't think it was possible. So look at how much he wants the ball. He couldn't catch. So I could write a story and said I had a dog, he was really cute, he couldn't catch, the end. But I wanted to make something good happen in the story, but I started drawing him first. It was funny and sad. How could I help my dog? Glasses. So I started working on a story, and I drew all the pictures and cut them out and glued them down like collage. And I'll show you, that is Arlo needs glasses. You want to see Arlo for a second? So this is a story where I made him catch on the first page, even though he really couldn't, but to make the story. And then one day he can't catch anymore. That's Arlo. We fed him a lot of dog bones when we made this video. So in the story, would you see the book, please? The boy realizes his dog needs help, so he takes him to the eye doctor. And they let him try on glasses. And now that he has glasses, he can catch. But now that he can see, there's something he likes to do even more than playing ball. Arlo loves to read. And now he's tired. And that is Arlo needs glasses. All right, so this is a sketchbook. As I said, my mom bought me sketchbooks. I spilled coffee on this. And then right here, it looked like an eyeball. And I decided that that was the mouth and that this was a coffee blob monster. And then the coffee leaked onto the back of the book. And if you look at it, it looks like a gorilla head looking towards me. You see that? Then this is a picture from a book I did called Flying Garbanzos. And my son was little, and he locked a dog in my studio by mistake. Oops, oops. And I couldn't cover the paw prints or erase them, so I covered all the paw prints, and my dog stepped on my picture that my son locked into the studio, and each cloud covered a paw print. And teachers said, can you teach how you fixed your mistakes? My wife, who's very smart, said, oops is a nicer word. It doesn't sound so serious. So this is beautiful oops. And this book shows you, it says, oops, a torn piece of paper is just the beginning. And that becomes the mouth of an alligator. Every spill has lots and lots of possibilities. Bent paper, sometimes your paper gets smushed, so it says bent paper is something to celebrate. And a little drip of paint lets your imagination run wild. Those are wild pigs. A scrap of paper can be fun to play with. And a smudge and a smear can make magic appear. A stain has potential or possibilities if you play with the shape. And it says holes in your paper are worth exploring. And there's a little piece of paper that you pull up into the air and look through the hole. And there's a little guy in there that looks sort of like a dog and a dinosaur had a baby. And it says, see? So when I was making this book, I made an oops, and I crunched up my paper, and instead of throwing it out, I decided I should put it in the book. And when we turn the page, you'll see a piece of trash inside the O. And it says, when you think you have made a mistake, oops, think of it as an opportunity or chance to make something beautiful, and that trash turned into the body of a sheep. And that is beautiful oops. All right, let's see if we can do some more music. How many of you have ever eaten something? Good. How many of you like to cook? Okay. Well, I have two children, and when they were little, my daughter said one day, don't come in the kitchen, I'm going to make you lunch. I got nervous. Do you know why? Because one day she said, come in the kitchen and get me a bowl. So I got her a bowl, and then she asked me to pour some water in the bowl. I did that, and then she asked me for a wooden spoon. And then she asked me to take her with the bowl with the water in it and the wooden spoon into the garden. So she put the bowl on the grass, and she took the wooden spoon and put it in the dirt. And she put the dirt in the bowl, and she mixed it up. And she said, chocolate pudding. And I said, that looks delicious. She said, eat it, Dad. So I had the spoon near my lips, and I pretended to eat it. I said, that's delicious. And she said, no, eat it. I said, it's mud. She said, it's chocolate pudding. Have some. I said, it's dirt and water. That is mud. She said, it's magic. Now it's chocolate pudding. Eat it. So I said, you eat it. And she said, I'm full. So the day she said, don't come in the kitchen, I'm making you lunch, I got nervous. Because I thought, if she thinks mud is chocolate pudding, what is she going to make me to eat? She actually made me a peanut butter sandwich. It was fine. But because I'm a writer, I'm always thinking about where do I get ideas. I could write a song called I Could Make a Sandwich. So I'm going to teach you the song. Hopefully I can play it on the ukulele. And we'll find out. So I'm going to teach you the things that go in a sandwich. You sing them back. We're going to go ketchup, mustard, peanut butter, tuna fish. This is not one sandwich. A little jam, a little jelly. Take one hand and say pile it high, and then make it squish. That's what you need to make a... You can make a burrito, but it doesn't rhyme. All right, so let's try. Oh, also, if you have ever had a tuna sandwich that you didn't eat, at the end of the day, it smells disgusting. So make the ugliest face you can when you say tuna fish, and say it like Grover from Sesame Street. Say, tuna fish. Oh, my goodness, try that. Tuna fish. Perfect. So let's try them all. We're going to go ketchup, mustard, peanut butter, tuna fish. Little jam, little jelly, pile it high, make it squish. Uh-oh, that's what you need to make a... Let me see if I know this. I know it now. All right, so I'll sing the first part. I can make a sandwich, I can do it myself. I need a chair to stand on so I can reach the shelf. It isn't really hard, I'll tell you what to do. Pay very close attention so you can do it too. This is your part, you ready? You need ketchup, mustard, peanut butter, tuna fish, little jam, little jelly, pile it high, make it squish. That's what you need to make a what? Perfect, you're paying attention. I take it to the table, I pour myself some juice. I can't wait to eat it, 'cause I'm hungry as a moose. When I eat my sandwich, I make an awful mess. I forgot something important, I wonder, can you guess? This is your part, you ready? You need ketchup, mustard, peanut butter, tuna fish, little jam, little jelly, pile it high, let me see those hands, make it squish. Must have lost my head, I forgot the bread. You need ketchup, mustard, peanut butter, tuna fish, little jam, little jelly, pile it high, make it squish. That's what you need to make a... Good job. Give yourselves a hand. This is a book I wrote many years ago, and this is a hamster that looks a lot like a football. His name is Stanley. Can you all say hi, Stanley? And this story is called Crazy Hair Day. I had hair when I made it. This is Stanley waking up in the morning, yawning. And I put guitars on his bedspread because I like them. And this is Stanley and his mother. She is wearing my wife's bathrobe, and they are looking at the calendar to see what day it is. And it says, Stanley Birdbaum woke up early. Bald Eagle Elementary School was celebrating Crazy Hair Day, and Stanley couldn't wait. And if you look at the pictures on the wall, you can see they had celebrated Pajama Day, Twin Day, and 60s Day. His favorite day was Twin Day because he and his best friend, Larry Finchfeather, had worn exactly the same thing. And Stanley was ready. He had styling gel, he had rubber bands, and he had 2 cans of Halloween hairspray. And his mother knew just what to do. She wrapped his hair, she dipped his hair, and to make it perfect, she sprayed Stanley's hair bright orange and blue. Ta-da, said Stanley, I am a work of art. She said, you are going to be late if you don't hurry. So Stanley's walking to school, and I want you to try this. He rolled the rubber bands in his hair, you can pretend. He gently tapped the tops of his spikes, and he said, this is going to be a day I will never forget. I bet Larry Finchfeather and I will have the craziest hair in the whole school, thought Stanley. And as he walked toward the classroom, he heard his teacher talking. And remember, Mr. Winger said, Crazy Hair Day is next Friday. Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Stanley felt sick. Is that a hair do or a hair don't? Said Larry Finchfeather. Everybody laughed, and Stanley ran to hide in the bathroom. A few minutes later, Stanley heard someone come in. It's me, Larry Finchfeather. The Larry Finchfeather who made fun of me in front of the whole class, said Stanley. I was only teasing, said Larry. Well, some days you tease me too much, said Stanley. He said, Mr. Winger wants me to be a peacemaker instead of a troublemaker, said Larry. I'm supposed to bring you back to class. I'm not going, said Stanley. If you stay here, said Larry, you'll miss being in the class picture. I thought that was next Friday, said Stanley. No, next Friday is Crazy Hair Day. Today is School Picture Day. Stanley rolled the rubber bands, tried it in his hair. He gently tapped the tops of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never forget. Larry Finchfeather suggested that Stanley try washing his hair in the sink. It won't help, said Stanley. Halloween hair color lasts for days. Well, it really doesn't matter. It's only your hair, Larry told him. If you don't come out of the bathroom by the time math is over, I'm coming to get you. You can't stay here all day. It was very quiet after Larry left, and Stanley wondered if maybe he could spend the whole day in the bathroom. So he ate his lunch, he drew some pictures, and he even timed himself to see how fast he could flush all the toilets. 32.5 seconds, he said. A new world's record by me, Stanley Birdbaum. Stanley had counted up to 121, 122, 123 drops of water from a leaky faucet when Larry Finchfeather came back. They needed a plumber. Someone to fix the pipes. Beep, time's up. Let's go, Larry announced. Picture time. If I'm in it, I'll look like the class weirdo, said Stanley. Remember 60s Day when Mr. Winger had the flu, but he came in anyway, said Larry? He said the day wouldn't be the same if we weren't all together. I'll give you 5 more minutes. You have to come. Stanley remembered 60s Day when Mr. Winger had taught them all those great old songs. He even remembered how on Pajama Day, everyone, even his teacher, wore pajamas and slippers. And then Stanley imagined what his class picture would look like without him. And you can see there's a little spot where Stanley's supposed to be staying. So how many of you think he stayed in the bathroom? Ordered a pizza? How many of you think he went home? How many of you think he went back to class? Let's see. He decided to go back to class. And to keep from being nervous, Stanley made up a song. Crazy hair, how I wish it wasn't there. Stanley felt someone touch his shoulder. I was just coming to get you, said Larry Finchfeather. What if they laugh at me again, said Stanley. Everything will be fine, Larry whispered. I promise. Stanley stood in front of the class. Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Do this again. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair. He gently tapped the tops of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never what? Forget. And this is the class picture. Everyone in the class, even the teacher, had crazy hair. And that night, when Stanley went home and went to sleep, just by looking at his face, how do you think he's feeling? Does he look happy? Yeah. And you know why he's sleeping on his stomach? Because his hair was so spiky he couldn't sleep on his back. It was too uncomfortable. And that is Crazy Hair Day. So I want to teach you one last song. And before I teach it to you, I have to draw you a picture. How many of you have a dog? How many of you wish you had a dog? How many of you have a dog and wish you didn't have a dog? That's usually the adults. All right. You know, before I forget, I wanted to get a piece of paper, a sign up. Okay. So, this is a song, again, inspired by my daughter when she was little, because she drew a picture that we had on the refrigerator, and it said, Shopping with My Dog. And I thought that is a good title, and sometimes I get ideas just from something someone says. So I wrote a song called Shopping with My Dog, and I will show you the dog so that it'll help you sing it. Oh, that is too heavy. Let's try this. That's too light. It's like Goldilocks. That's just right. Okay, so there's a dog, right? Oh, sorry. No, a chicken? You need to get out more. Hold on. Oh. Not a dog? Wait, what if he barked? Could he be a dog? Tough group. Okay. So let's see. What do they have? Oh, I know. Okay, how many eyeballs does a dog have? 5? You live near a power plant. Okay. Okay, so there's a dog, right? Is that a dog in the fog? Yeah, could that work? We need more? Okay, he needs a nose, right? Like that? No. Like that? No. Ah, he lost his eyeball. Okay, so here. And what else? Hold on, I forgot something. He needs his wheels. No. Okay, so there, and he needs something back here. No. No, that's not it. Okay, so there, right? No. And then here he needs... No. That work? All right, hold on. I can do it. He's got that, and... That's a dog. That's as good as my dogs get. All right, so what I want you to do is, you guys have been sitting a really long time, so thank you. First of all, before I finish this song, I haven't started it yet, but I have to say, I live in California. We don't have libraries that do this. This is amazing. That you have a library like this that looks like this, does what they do, and has events like this. So thank you for having me, and I hope to come back. And I'm working with, for the parents, a professor out of the University of Buffalo on a book on creativity. And we are doing a YouTube challenge. We are starting a channel that's going to be called Creatubity. And we're going to have a 10-week free creativity challenge. And it's really fun. We filmed it over the last week, and it's going to go up in January. But we're going to have a piece of paper, and if you want us to send you a link to what it is, and you put your name on that clipboard, I will send you a link to what we're doing, because I think it's going to be really fun to do. All right. So let me teach you this. So what I want you to do, you guys, if you sit up, because you need to have your finger like that, this will be your tail. Let me see your tail. So when I say, I'm going to go shopping with my dog, and when I say, no, you can sit down, sit down. When I say shopping with my dog, I want you to wag your finger 2 times and go, woof, woof. Ready? Shopping with my dog. All right. Let's see if I can do this on the ukulele. Today's the day we're gonna go shopping with my dog. We're on our way, so don't be slow. Shopping with my dog. Please leave the fleas at home. We like to be alone. We can spend the day together. Gonna buy my dog a fuzzy sweater. We'll spend the day inside the mall shopping with my dog. He'll find a bone, I'll find a ball. Shopping with my dog. How do we look? We both bought hats. Shopping with my dog. We'll find a book on chasing cats. Shopping with my dog. We'll wander through the big pet store. He'll wonder what I brought him for. They're gonna have a dog toy sale. I love to watch him wag his tail. Today's the day we're gonna go shopping with my dog. We're on our way, so don't be slow. Shopping with my dog. Shopping with my cow. Moo. Shopping with my pig. Oink, oink. Shopping with my chicken. Buck, buck. Shopping with my baby. Wah! Shopping with my sister. He hit me. Shopping with my brother. Shit, at first it was an accident. Shopping with my dad. I have no idea. Ask your mother. Shopping with my mother. Walk away from the toy now. Shopping with my grandpa. What? Shopping with my grandma. I'm going to pinch your cheeks off your face. Shopping with my cat. Meow. Shopping with my dog. Woof, woof. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you guys so much. I think that's going to do it. So, yeah, there is a sign-up sheet. I'd love you if you want to try it. Also, it'll just give you some, we can send you some emails when new books are coming out or when I'm coming back. Thank you.